What's up, guys? Your boys are back. I'm Ryan, my man George.
Yeah, what's up, guys? How you living out there? Shout out to the free thinkers, of course. And shout out to everybody that's been following us on our Instagram, Def the Radio, DEAF2 Radio. Make sure you guys follow us there. And on our website, deftheradio.com. It's a member website that we've been working on. It's free to everybody. It's where we're going to be focusing the vast majority of our attention as far as requests are concerned. We have groups on the site. We want you guys to get involved, get engaged, become a member of the Def the Radio family. The information for that will be in the description.
And speaking of websites, guys, make sure you check out Pressable. If you're looking to get your own website popping, especially if you are a YouTuber or an artist, man, click our link in the description. You'll get about 50% off your initial purchase of something that's already inexpensive. Make sure you check that out if you're interested in getting your own platform popping.
We've gotten requests for the Iron Maiden's version of Phantom of the Opera. We've always kind of seen that. We did polls way back on Patreon, and that always came up on the poll. It didn't win the polls, but it always came up. So we know that Iron Maiden did this, and obviously I've seen the Phantom of the Opera way back in the day. I've seen to play the Phantom of the Opera, but I believe that this may be sort of, I don't know, maybe a cover of Iron Maiden's version of the song Phantom of the Opera, I think. Honestly, our experience with Ghost has been overall positive. I mean, I think we pretty much enjoyed a decent amount of the songs. I really enjoyed Dance Macabre. I thought that was a fun little dance rock song. I think we did Cerise. I believe I liked Cerise.
Year Zero.
Yep, Year Zero I thought was pretty
Spillways.
good.
I think
Spillways,
was
yeah.
the last one that we did. Yep.
They just have a catchy groove all the time. So we'll see what they do with this one. We haven't heard Iron Maiden's version. Maybe we'll kind of listen to that on our own time, or maybe do a reaction to that in the future. But let's see what they do with it. Okay. Maybe you want to listen to Iron Maiden. Yep. 1 year. Okay. I love that part. That's band. Damn, sorry guys, we'll pull it back.
It's so weird. Like, oh shit.
I stopped it on the wrong one. Should have been the second one. Stop. That would have been a good stop. But it looked like my man was about to solo. Yeah, this is solid though, man. I'm enjoying the listen.
Yeah.
I can definitely hear that this is an Iron Maiden cover though. It's just got those galloping, dun, 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 dun. It's the galloping like riffs that are pretty. From what my experience has been with Iron Maiden, it's pretty standard for pretty much almost every song I've heard from them. It's pretty standard, that galloping type groove, but it doesn't sound bad. I guess my question to you guys is, what is different about this thus far that you've heard? I'd like to get some feedback in the comments from this. I mean, we haven't heard the Iron Maiden version. I want to know how the vocals match up, how they approached it vocally versus how Iron Maiden approached it vocally. Is it completely different? Because Bruce Dickinson, although I think he's a very talented singer, can hit notes, his style of singing, that operatic style, has always been a struggle for me, outside of Ronnie James Dio. That is like the exception. Yeah. Maybe one other person, but Ronnie James Dio is like the exception with that operatic style, and it's really more theatrical, more so with Ronnie James Dio. But outside of him, I have struggled liking operatic vocals. This one seems like they're hitting the notes like this, and I think that Bruce Dickinson, in my head, from what I've heard, is like these shrieky high notes that's being hit is how I'm thinking he sung this song. Give us some feedback, but I say that to say I'm cool with the vocals in this. It's cool, and the way that they added the melody in here where they were sort of harmonizing in certain parts, right? Like it felt like it was like a synchronized effort with maybe the lead singer, maybe he layered his vocals, or maybe other members of the band. I'm wondering how the vocals compare. So give us some feedback on that. All right, let me pull it back because I know they were about to get maybe a little freaky, a little crazy with the solo. Let's see. See right here. Was this all in the original Iron Maiden version? Because I like this part.
This sounds good, man.
They got out of the galloping groove that I'm not the biggest fan of, and they seem to, have more emphasis on the da-da-da-da. It seemed to be focusing on the riffs here, the melodic riffs. Da-da-da. So I like the way this sounds. I just want to make it clear. Yeah,
are they bodying this? You think they bodying this?
I think you're doing a good job.
I mean, we'd have to hear the original, man. But are they Whitney Houston and shit right now?
Oh, with the cover?
Yeah.
They just, it's my shit now.
Yeah,
is that what's happening here?
You know what I'm saying?
Even if they are, the metalheads ain't gonna say that. They're gonna be like, no, Maiden. All day, baby. All day, every day.
Are they Luther Vandross in it and shit?
I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, we haven't heard the original one.
We don't get a whole bunch of anonymous people and shit like, they actually killed it. Don't tell any of the other metalheads, but they killed it. And this Phantomime, is this it looks like it's more of a, I don't know if it's an actual album or if this is just sort of an EP project for them, or if this is a official album that they put out. But this is off that Phantomime project that dropped recently. So just so you guys know, check that out if you guys haven't checked it out already. Let's get back to it though. Okay. Oh man. I don't know if I need to hear this. This is very Maiden.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like you cut it. Yeah.
Like they're playing to me.
They killed that.
Listen, man, Nickelback gets busy, Ghost gets busy. Knock it off, man. Knock it off, man. Nickelback gets busy, Ghost gets busy. All these bands that are fun to hate, they getting. Listen, man, they're popular for a reason, man. They did kill that.
They killed that.
They did kill that.
And it sounded so polished to me. I haven't heard the original, but there were some cuts in there. George and I both were like, yeah, that kind of sounds very Iron Maiden-ish right there, because it was an abrupt transition there. I think at like the 5-minute mark or so, but it did sound very Iron Maiden-ish, you know, and that's been my criticism of Iron Maiden in the past, is just those abrupt fucking transitions. It sounds like the song fucked up.
Sound like it just cut like
yeah, and instead of it just being a smoother transition. Now, again, I haven't heard the original, but the way that they played this, man, sounded like they smoothed it out a little bit. Smoothed out the original, and maybe the original had a little bit more abrupt transitions, and maybe the original, because it was made a while back, it didn't sound as lively. This is all purely speculation, guys, based on my other Iron Maiden songs that I've heard. It's never sounded this vibrant. This because it's a new song, you know, they got, you know, you're limited by the technology
in terms of the mix, right,
so it's engineered and it sounds very, very good, almost like remastered,
powerful.
I appreciate that. Now there's some old songs like the Black Sabbath that is just nasty, you know, that I really, really love a lot, but typically I like the remastered sound, guys. I know y'all get on my ass for that, but you know what I'm saying? I don't want to go back to, you know what I'm saying, fucking carts and buggies and have horses pushing us around and shit. I like the fact that we have cars now. You know what I'm saying? I mean, but I know
with AC and power steering.
Yeah. But I know there's some of you that like the Oregon Trail type of way of I just prefer, technology and
Go ahead and live off the fat of the land.
Yeah.
You go ahead and do that if you want.
So I love the way this sounded, man. So I don't know what the original sounds like, but if it don't sound like that, like as far as it being mastered, I think I'm gonna be a little bit more biased to the way this sounds, man. It's just the way the cookie crumbles with Ryan, man. Sorry.
One thing I will say that I've always appreciated about Iron Maiden is the harmonization of the guitars. Like the harmonizing at the same time. I always thought that they killed that. Almost every song that we've done where they've done that I've really liked the way they've done that. I just think that they live too much in certain grooves. I understand that it's about a certain rhythm with them, and they're always playing their ass off. I always have tried to give credit where credit's due, and then there's the operatic vocals, which I don't like. So I haven't been the biggest fan of Iron Maiden, but quite frankly, I just haven't liked Iron Maiden, if I'm being straightforward. But I do appreciate the way that they can play, and I do appreciate the harmonizing guitar work that they have, and I love that. I felt like they nailed that. It seemed like, from what I remember with Maiden. Let's listen to just a little bit of Phantom of the Opera, Iron Maidens, man. Maybe we should have started with this, you know what I'm saying? But now I'm curious. Similar key. It's in the ballpark. Yeah, I feel like they did the thing. Okay, let me fast forward. Let me fast forward just a little bit. But we were just saying that's in the ballpark. I feel like they did pretty good. Let me fast forward it. Hold on. That's right. From what it sounds like, we didn't hear the whole song. We kind of skipped around a little bit, but from what it sounds like, it seemed like Ghost did it justice.
Yeah.
That's all I'm going to say.
Yeah. And man, it sounded very similar. The only thing is, man, it's just you hear the lack of richness and the lack of oomph, when and this is the remastered version that we're playing of Iron Maiden's version of Phantom of the Opera compared to Ghost's version of Phantom of the Opera. So, man, I just like remastered stuff, man.
Yeah.
I just like it just sounds more powerful, and more rich and envelops the room, man. Yeah, I'm just a fan of that.
Yeah.
But Iron Maiden did their thing on that. I if we had done that first, outside of Ghost doing their version of this, I would still be like, yeah, that, you know, because it sounds pretty similar, and I do appreciate what they brought to the table here.
Yeah.
I think it sounds really good.
It's a style thing for Iron Maiden with me. Even Ghost's version isn't on the playlist for me. It's just there's a certain one gear that they have with the way that they approach their those galloping grooves that, and in addition to Bruce's voice, that just turns me away from their style. Doesn't mean that they're not playing well. Doesn't mean that they're not great at what they do, but their style doesn't do it for me. I will say that I hear what you're saying, that it just felt, the Ghost's version just felt way more powerful. It felt modern. It felt like it had all the tools to make the shit just blow you away, right? It felt like it filled the room and all this other stuff. But there is a warmth with this old school style, a charm that this old school style kind of has in the instruments. It's a charm to it that I understand how someone could like that as well. And I can understand how someone can listen to Ghost's version and be like, it's super digitized and, you know, it doesn't feel like it has the same soul. Yeah. It feels like it was just an engineer basically made the song versus musicians. I can hear that too. Man. Do I still prefer the Ghost's version? Yes. I do prefer how powerful that sounded, but I can also see the other side of it feels like musicians made this. It doesn't feel like this was necessarily altered in any way by engineering or something like that to sound digital. You know what I mean? So and more polished. So I get both. And I appreciate both, honestly. I do. And Bruce's voice in this specifically seemed to be a bit more tame. So I can definitely appreciate Iron Man. I think I've always appreciated them. They just it's just, like I said, man, just to end it is just a style thing with them. Their style, that operatic style, even their subject matter just doesn't do anything for me in general. But, dude, the talent is clearly there. Salute to Iron Maiden. And hopefully, man, I'm curious to see what you guys thought of Ghost's version, man. Do y'all think that was just a travesty? Because I didn't hear a travesty. You know what I mean? But I'm not the biggest Iron Maiden fan, so maybe from an Iron Maiden's fan perspective, they did horrible or they did great. Let us know. I'm curious to see what you guys say on that. Salute to Ghost. Salute to Iron Maiden. Shout out to everybody that requested that. That's the end of the video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And also, guys, make sure y'all check out our information in the description regarding Patreon and our site, Def to Radio. Become a member. That's it. Great way to support the channel. I'm George. That's Ryan. Las Vegas. We out.